Aloha guys, my name is Chef Adam Gilbert with Plantation Tavern, and welcome to Kids Cooking Local. Today for you, we're gonna make a penne pasta with Mizuna and tomato. So come, let's go. If you don't know what Mizuna is, this is Mizuna. It's a leafy green. It doesn't have a ton of flavor. It's not too bitter or sharp. It grows really well in Hawaii. We're focusing on this. We also have a local lemon, local basil, and Kamawala tomatoes from the Big Island. So first we're gonna boil some water for our pasta. I've already washed and cleaned all my produce. I went to the farm last night, picked up this great stuff. I washed it before the show, and so everything's clean and ready to go. I store it in a wet paper towel, kind of keep it alive longer in the... For this recipe, we're gonna use 8 ounces of pasta, and we're using penne. Really, you can use any pasta you want. My recipes that I tend to make are very flexible because I focus around local produce so much. So really, even the Mizuna, you can use a beet top, or you can even use carrot tops, or kohlrabi tops, or really anything locally green. So now that the pasta's in, I'm gonna set a timer for 11 minutes. Takes about 11 minutes to cook the pasta. You'll want to stir it every like 3 or 4 minutes. While that's going, we're going to prep our ingredients. So first we're going to dice a tomato. Everybody has different ways they cut and they do stuff. As long as the outcome's the same, it doesn't matter. I choose to do this because it's quicker and easier for me. Once we have everything chopped up, again, we use Kamawala tomatoes because they're the nicest tomatoes locally. So this is a shallot. Kahumana Farm refers to it as a purpleette onion. It's a small onion. Again, you can substitute with onions if that's all you have available. Really, it's about being creative and having fun more so than actually sticking to a recipe. I kind of believe that. So, I mean, at the end result, if you take the quality ingredients, don't overutilize them, we're gonna rough chop the garlic. Keep it fresh and simple really is the best. So the recipe calls for 8 ounces of penne, 1 cup of diced tomato, 1 shallot sliced thin, 3 bulbs. This is a bulb of garlic, 1 each, clove rather, and then we're just gonna rough chop that. For the lemon, we're gonna zest our lemon. We have a zester here. If you don't have a zester, it's fine. You can actually use a peeler and just peel the skin off, and then chop it with your knife if that's what you have available. You can use a cheese grater. It'll come out a little thicker. A zester, it makes it really fine, right? So, but don't feel like you have to have this equipment to make this. You really can utilize whatever's available. So you just rub it on here. The skin is extremely flavorful. What you will want to avoid is the white underneath the yellow. The white is really very bitter. So if you use a lemon, you'll get more flavor from the zest than you actually will the juice, believe it or not. I'll put that aside. So I have a zest there. We're gonna stir the pasta. So we have some basil. I actually grew this in my garden, which if you have a 12 by 12 inch square of dirt at your house, you should grow something, especially a papaya tree or something. They grow really well, quick and easy, little maintenance, little water. So what we're gonna do to the basil is we're gonna chiffonade it. Chiffonade means really just slice very thinly. I got a ladybug friend. We'll just grab some nice leaves off of this. And after we roll it, we're gonna slice it very thin. So you just make a nice stack of basil leaves. And again, if you just want to chop it, you don't have to get fancy. I mean, so we just do that, and then we're gonna roll it up. and then slice it thinly. But yeah, you can just chop this, it's fine. We're gonna chop it a little bit bigger, just so it doesn't completely shrink up. When you cook, we're gonna cut these stems and disregard them. When you cook a leafy green, it's gonna cook down to nothing. So like this pile of leafy greens, which I would say is like 3 cups, will end up being 3/4 of a cup of cooked product. So we're just gonna push that over here, get a little bit more. Everything on the cutting board is called our mise en place, right? It's accumulation of all the ingredients we'll need to produce the dish, okay? So let's check our pasta again. On like a medium heat, it doesn't have to be scorching hot and smoking, especially for this dish. Sometimes you would like that, but not in particularly for this dish. I have some olive oil we're gonna add. You can use canola oil or vegetable oil. Really use what you have. Don't have to run to the store every time you think you need something. Really though, the best thing to do is buy as much local as you can, purchase local food. It's about keeping Hawaii sustainable. If you can buy organic, I'd recommend doing it for yourselves. But it's also more costly, so you have to keep that in mind too. But definitely make friends with your nearest farmer. So our oil is getting hot. We're gonna push our shallots in here. We're gonna use a rubber spatula just to keep it moving around. Turn it down a little bit. Gas and electric are 2 different ways to cook, right? Gas is a lot hotter than electric. If I was at home, I'd put it on number 6 on my electric stove. If you have gas, you definitely want a lower heat. So the shallots started to brown a little bit. I can smell them. They're really aromatic. I'm going to add my garlic now. Give that a little. I personally season food as I go. It's the better way, so you have a complete round texture. Not texture, but you have a complete flavor profile. So I salt and add a little pepper to my saute mixture. And that way, I season everything as I put it in the pan instead of just at the end. So it helps build flavors as they cook together and they marry with each other. Our pasta is almost done. Maybe another minute or 2. So we got our garlic and shallots. They're starting to brown a little bit, which is perfect. We're gonna add our tomato. That's the timer for our pasta. Let's grab one of those. Again, I season everything as I do it with a little bit, the whole way. All right. I can do this because my hands are like burnt. I don't really recommend just eating a piece of pasta out of a pot, but after a while you just can do that. It has about another minute. I do like to cook pasta al dente, a little on the undercooked side. But really, it's personal choice. You can really choose to cook it any way you wish. So I'm going to add our lemon zest now to the tomato. I'm going to turn the heat up a little and add some crushed red pepper because I like spicy. Again, if you don't like spicy, you don't really have to add. It's personal preference. There we go. So the tomatoes are going to leach out a lot of juice. Your pan's gonna become really wet. That's perfect. You kind of want to cook it till the juice evaporates. And I'm gonna call the pasta done. So I'm gonna grab this and put it through a strainer. I have set up in my sink already. It is very important to have everything prepared before you start cooking, right? Have all your stuff ready. I mean, I have my utensils ready, my strainer's in the sink already. I'm gonna turn this down because I'm gonna turn my back on it while I strain this. Perfect. So I have my hot pasta here ready to go. All right, so now I'm gonna focus on my tomato mixture here. I'll turn it up a little bit. I'm gonna add some chicken stock after, in my next step, to deglaze the pan. You can use wine if you have it. Chicken stock's a great option. You can use water if that's all you got. I mean, but if you add water, you're probably gonna have to season it a little bit more because you're gonna take away. Again, this is a really simple, super flavorful dish that I think you all love. I'm gonna get my Mizuna ready to put over there. Okay. I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit higher right now, so when I put the stock, it can scrape all the little bits stuck to the bottom of the pan. I use low sodium chicken broth typically. We're gonna add 2 ounces there. And I know I just eyeballed it, but we're gonna let that cook out for about 45 seconds. We'll do a little bit of seasoning again. A little pepper, a little salt. But definitely, while this is going, I really urge everybody to buy local. We're an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean here, and the nearest landfall's 2,300 miles away. So when you buy local, it's helping the aunties and uncles, whether they be delivery drivers or cooks or bartenders or people packing food or, it's all putting food in all of our mouths and allowing all of us to have enough money to build a stronger Hawaii. Yeah? So I'm gonna put my Mizuna in now. Right here it's reducing down nicely. So I'm gonna put 2 cups only. Stems and all is perfect. Until it wilts down. So the Mizuna is actually gonna wilt away a little bit. We're gonna turn our heat down to control it. If you feel like there's not enough liquid, you can always add more. We're gonna season with a little bit of salt again, a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna take my fresh basil here, my basil chiffonade. This is about a tablespoon. Sprinkle it in there. Okay. I'm gonna take my pasta here. I'm gonna throw it right on top. I'm gonna mix this all together. For a super light, healthy lunch, if you wanted to, you can add sausage, you can add meat, you can add turkey, chicken, pork, whatever you want, really. But this is a delicious lunch. Now, we want to season the pasta a little bit. Again, a little salt, a little pepper. All right. And that's it. We're gonna plate it up over here. Make 2 plates. Really a simple dish though, you can cook at home. You need a saute pan and a pot. Healthy, organic, if you choose it to be. A lot of flavor and simple ingredients. But when you really keep things local and fresh, I'm a believer when you buy everything 10 miles from your house, especially food, then you can't really go wrong. So we're gonna take some of our feta cheese. We're gonna crumble some over the top here. And then top it with some little leftover our basil chiffonade. And that's it. That's our penne pasta with Mizuna and tomato. Aloha guys, thank you again for coming out today for Kids Cooking Local. Again, my name is Chef Adam Gilbert with Plantation Tavern. And here is our wonderful dish we made of penne pasta with Mizuna and tomato. I hope you enjoy and your families enjoy too. Thank you.